everyone, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time, we started our first day at Yamaku Academy, and we got to meet a few of the students there. So, what will happen this time? Let's see. Let's jump right into it. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. Huh? This is my room, isn't it? Well, technically, yeah. My room. This is the third room this year I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that indeed, it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open a bottle and shake out a pill and pop out a tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with the chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here? Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I could join one. All through class, the question remains on my mind, so I decide to ask Shizune about it, and we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. What's with that look? She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfect and evenly flat. Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hee-chan. My first thought is that that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please don't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events, like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you actually answered in at a busy time, so maybe you can help out too. Sure. Why the heck not? What's the festival about? Misha freezes. Oh no, Hee-chan! The truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so... She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an odd grandiose... I pronounced that wrong again, didn't I? Flourish, and starts signing hard and heavy. Huh? Oh! Who cares? Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads turning to look in our direction. Not so loud, please. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind the festival will inevitably change with time. Now, it's
it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games you play to win prizes.
The teacher clears his throat very loudly, banging his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though, brushing it off without a care.
We are in the middle of class and should start working. That's right, Chi-chan. What, that's right? Hi-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club?
Oh. I wasn't paying attention. What was... Did I just notice? I could have sworn I saw... Shizune making a very interesting face. Oh, this is what happens when you're not paying attention to everything. It could have just been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchange between them. Glad to see that you know something too, Hisao! Misha's tone has also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flares in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl. I'll go. Why doesn't he say anything? Hei-chan? Is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or is Misha just looking at me looking after the girl who left? No, it's nothing. When you say it's nothing, it's obviously not nothing. Shizune looks happy. Okay! Well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Yay! Okay, Hei-chan! Perfect! The rest of class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I have the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks a little more than a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all our work on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. Yeah, but that's not good enough for her. Yes, it is, Hei-chan. Impossible. Really? Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes start back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm supposed to be looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really? Shizune can't hear me, but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing and will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with competitive glare. She stares at me as if I'm surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Are you sure, Hei-chan? Very sure. You're wrong, Hei-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. I guess that makes sense. Shizune pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I argue more, but the bell rings, and she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. supposed to have lunch with them.
Where do you want to eat?
The cafeteria?
Oh, that's so plain! Okay, let's go!
Plain? Well, I guess. I mean, don't you normally eat lunch in the cafeteria? At my old school, I liked to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there is a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha pulled me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in the classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finished eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier.
So, Hee-chan, you want to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right? Yeah, I do. Right, Hee-chan. Okay, it makes sense to ask first. I guess it makes sense to ask first.
Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turned to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she is about to deliver a speech.
Hee-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in?
I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot.
There is a book club, right, Hee-chan? Right! But it seems they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hee-chan. It's a really popular club.
Well, too bad.
Okay, but more to the point, Hee-chan. Does this mean you don't have anything already in mind?
Not really.
Good, great! That's great, Hee-chan. Really great.
Oh, jeez. Why is it so great?
No reason. Well, Hee-chan, other than clubs in the upcoming festival, there is one other thing.
The student council?
Student council!
I was right! I see. I didn't know that the school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic step, though. Just tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this, because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a matter of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says.
Right. Hee-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They can use more people. Yes, definitely! You should definitely join!
Why?
Well, for one, we can hang out every day, Hee-chan. Shi-chan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shi-chan is the president.
Huh. Who would have thought? I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha.
Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try to get you to...
So you're admitting that...
No, we admit nothing! I mean, Hee-chan, it would be... Of course it would be nice if you joined and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one school. Yep, it's true, Hee-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hee-chan?
I can't tell if she was being genuine, or if this was just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they're already pretty cute to begin with.
Well... So it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hee-chan.
Wait, no! I didn't officially join yet! You can't make me! You can't just make me join like that! I mean, that's not to say I'm not going to join the student council, but no! Don't just assume that! Don't make assumptions! Assumptions are bad! Assumptions are really, really bad!
Aw, see, Shi-chan? Of course it wouldn't go so easily.
Look at that smile.
Yep, that's right though. It would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well! Shi-chan owes me candy now!
You were betting on it?
Hey!
Hey, my life is not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. An aggressive glint returns to her eyes.
That's interesting, Hee-chan. Let's play a game.
That's not what I said.
How about Rich Man Poor Man, Hee-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, why not?
Well, because you two both have the same incentive, and therefore for the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that isn't my goal. But what this means is that both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage. So I will have to decline.
Hee-chan, I am very offended. Are you saying that you don't trust us and that we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad.
I'm sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thought might begin.
In order to atone for hurting the young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council.
No!
How about a game of paper football instead of Rich Man and Poor Man?
Paper football?
Yeah! It's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle, and then you try to shoot it past goalposts that the other player makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hee-chan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Hee-chan. That means the game that separates the boys from the men.
More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Well, you can know something but still be bad at it.
Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hee-chan?
Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably isn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Okay, Hee-chan, how about Risk? The game of world domination!
I don't know what that is.
It's really fun, Hee-chan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything.
Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. Definitely. She's definitely the leader type.
If you want to play, we can after school. Really, Hee-chan? We can play just for fun, Hee-chan. Hee-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached.
Well, okay.
Okay. Perfect. I'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hee-chan.
Wait, why there?
Because that's where we keep the game.
Misha sure laughs a lot. But that's a good thing. She's a joyful person. I grimaced to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends, and we go back to class. Oh, there she goes again! During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people would have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell.
What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right. We're just going to play a game of Risk, remember?
I know, Misha, this all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, I don't blame you for thinking that. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still. For some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly.
That's not true, Hee-chan. Shii-chan says when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed.
Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerfully. Stop that! I know you heard me! You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it's quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least have a potted plant in here or something, but the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early?
No!
What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today?
Yeah, that's right!
Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically.
Hee-chan, let's play Risk! Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to! Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up.
While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I'm starting to feel a little more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from 2 fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention.
Hee-chan, Shii-chan wants you to know that Shii-chan wants to know that you are taking too long to make a move. Shii-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council.
Well, I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no!
Shii-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council.
They really want us to join the student council, don't they? You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous.
Magnanimous?
She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her repeated signing.
Wait, please slow down, Hee-chan. Shii-chan? Hee-chan! Shii-chan says you're going to lose!
Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion.
Okay.
Oh, there's that face again! I saw it this time! There's that face! There's the face! Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief.
She says you have no chance of keep playing like this. No, you won't!
Well... This is a really, really tough decision to make. This is a tough decision I have to make here, but I'm just gonna go with what she says. She has a point. Attack aggressively! She is either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose though, so I might as well try something different. Attack! Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can recoup the advantage. Shizune seems focused on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. Well! Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration.
I win! Yay!
Well, Shizune was the one playing. There's no need to translate that. It was pretty clear.
Don't look so sad, Hee-chan. You were really giving it your best, that's what I thought. Sometimes your best just isn't good enough, though. If anyone knows that, it's me! You did very well for someone who just learned how to play. Hee-chan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. Shee-chan is impressed. The mark of great people is that they are daring and that they can follow through. You're already halfway there. Isn't that great, Hee-chan? That isn't enough, though. Just potential isn't enough. There is no point to potential if you don't take the first step. And there is no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. You're right, Shee-chan. But that's so demanding.
Shizune leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful and more like the serious person I expected her to be from the start.
Hee-chan, would you like to join the student council?
Well, I lost, so... She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. But spending time with Shizune and Misha doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe. I'll get back to you on it.
Okay, Hee-chan, but I hope you're not just saying that so you don't feel bad.
No, really.
Really? Hee-chan, if you want to say that, you're saying that it is definitely the truth and there can't be any mistaking it.
I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Seriously though, I love that face. I really love that face. She really smiles at that in a mischievous way that feels like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize that it's been far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall.
It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shee-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is?
No thanks. It's okay. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye!
One flight of stairs up and I run into problems. Oh boy, what are those problems? The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs saying which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them? Or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the ladder and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though, just barely ajar so I can see that it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and it can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door, or with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it's much easier to open than I had anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head ever further to get inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek "hello" on my lips is quickly snatched away. Ooh! This is not what I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figures taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leading me to stand at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her sweet time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. What kind of voice should I have for this girl? Hello there. May I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's a soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That, and slight cloudiness to her eyes, means that she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Yeah, I just transferred in today. I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have some workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite the character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal. She says this despite her exceedingly well-read speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem like she's caring to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I'm in class 3-2. On the second floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. I'm sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. For the faux pas. However it's pronounced. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic as you go into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kinds of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away, it seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good, that's a relief. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such things slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not waiting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a slightly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. The time has gone by quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. Yeah. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, Sal. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library is still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems to know. Oh, in any case. True. It's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I should get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is?
I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me. Which they seem to have a habit of doing.
But hey, if they didn't fail, we wouldn't get to meet Lily, would we? It's all right. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I can introduce you.
This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer.
If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the door. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had,
Lily's looks much thinner and longer.
his must be for sport, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together, we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers, we slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to a warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the door, or rather than either wing. Ladies first.
She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is This is a nice-looking library. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with a distinct smell of old books, giving the place an almost old-world air. But still, it looks nice. There don't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, this isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms.
Yoko, are you there? Are you here?
She says it's too thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction.
Oh!
That's gonna hurt. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Aww. Oh! Hello! The Origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi, Lily! How can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head.
Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound.
It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser near my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me.
Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know.
It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me.
She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter.
Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as
Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason.
A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit a library perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message?
Message? Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived?
Right, they finally came! I can't believe it took so long, but... I miss her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure. She notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book? Or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling.
He's with me. Yuko, this is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you.
Hisao. Right, Hisao. Nice to meet you too, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget.
Yuko will often arranges to import foreign books and mail for me. Would you like to tell Hisao about a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror.
Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How would that's any responsibility at all, I don't get. But her action is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot
Then tell me where the light novels are.
I want to know where the light novels are, though. But...
So there are a lot of books in Braille here?
How do I pronounce it?
Braille, that's it!
So, there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems to... not exactly relax, but at least looks slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio.
Makes sense, given all the blind students that'd be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place?
Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome and they weigh so much. I wish I could quit this job.
Awkward! A very awkward silence follows this revelation with too much information. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I studied the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and Braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lillian snuck with us in here, unless it was there to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of texts set for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at a desk either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of the several beanbags. Oh, it's her! It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts, looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third if not a half, is pretty badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second, I am shocked, and divert my eyes to look at the book in her hands before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. Well, it'd probably be rude to scare her like that and not apologize. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's okay. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. So, do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but finally she nods just a little. Okay. I take the seat next to her and she hides herself behind her book. Life of Pi. Never heard of it. So, Sorry again for startling you. I'm Hisao. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying.
I know. We are in the same class.
She really comes off as the shy type. Her speech is stilted and so quiet that it's barely audible even in the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong.
Hanako. I'm Hanako.
I resist the urge to say, that's a nice name, just have something to say, but really, it's the only thing I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other, and here I am being all bothered and fussed about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. Well, this is awkward. So I try to read the covers and introductions of the books I picked up, and she buries her face in her book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander to her direction, and I sneak peeks at her flowing hair and the scars it's hiding. After a while, I realize she's doing the same and only pretending to be immersed in life of Pi. Her gaze is not inquisitive at all, though. It darts around like a scared rabbit. When her gaze is finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. She stands up forcefully from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. I? That's really fast. I don't even know if I managed to say that right. I gotta say something! Yeah, I'm not even sure if I did that time either. Moving on. Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you see or notice a girl run past here?
Maybe. What'd she look like?
Long, dark hair, kinda shy. She had, well, some scars on her face.
You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you?
Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I had better try and find her.
Sure. I'll just hold on to these until you come back.
What's going on?
I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time.
Right. I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong?
What did you do?
Nothing! I was just looking for some books, and then she got this fit and ran off. The most offending thing I can think of was that I might have looked in her general direction a few times.
Well, she is a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around her. She can be very jumpy, I think, and she's not accustomed to talking with other people.
Isn't that a bit strange? Well, not everyone is used to talking to other people.
I wonder. It's just how she is, I think.
Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it.
I think it's only an elephant. Only if you feel that way.
I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile, and she blushes heavily.
Well, what? Did that sound stupid?
No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People have papers on their decks. Really like doing that.
Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. mean, this library should be closed, but I have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenient for you.
Oh,
Yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because
I'll just go get them.
I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags
Where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter.
Wow, you really read a lot, don't you? You read a lot, don't you?
I surprised myself with that too, honestly. At least when I really think about it.
I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books
To fill that time. I couldn't do much else because I was in the hospital.
I see.
But she doesn't say anything else and just checks out my books for me.
I guess this is what they call tact. Alright, I think we're gonna end the episode here. So, we finally got to meet the long-haired girl who I'm in the same class as.
And we also got to
Meet a couple of other people. So, anyway, let's see how things go next time. So,
thank you all for watching. Be sure to leave a like.
and see ya in the next one. Yep, see ya.